We come to you live from the Wallace Civic Center on the campus of Fitchburg State University as FATV presents coverage of Fitchburg Monty Tech Red Raider Ice Hockey. And tonight, in the middle of their Central Mass playoff run, the Red Raiders will take a brief reprise from that to play their regular season finale against the Pacers of Chicopee High School. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Daniel Bolak. Happy to have you along with us here tonight. The Red Raiders coming into this game with a record of 12-4, coming off an exhilarating, exciting victory in the Class B quarterfinals of the CMATA tournament. A 6-5 overtime win against Northbridge on Saturday night. A hat trick for Riley Leblanc, including the game winner with 1:35 left. Goals for Sam Jaramillo and 3 assists for him. Colin Hines and Liam Hickey with the other strikes as well. The Red Raiders with a bit of momentum as I bring in my broadcast partner, Tim Foley. Tim, the Red Raiders are playing a Chicopee team that I don't think the Red Raiders have seen a team quite like this before.
Yeah, this is quite the sight here tonight, Daniel. We're looking at 8 skaters right now dressed for the Pacers, wearing maroon and gold jerseys here tonight. So what that means, if you're Fitchburg, well, you're going to want to wear these guys down. You're going to want to get pucks in deep, force Chicopee to have to turn and chase after the puck. But at the same time, this is a Chicopee team that has been used to running like this all season long. And so these are going to be some pretty well-built-up players, you could say, who will have good endurance, who are going to be able to run the game for an extended length of time. So it's really going to be interesting to see the way Chicopee comes out here today. But I think eventually, with the numbers Fitchburg has and the way they've been playing, I think eventually they should be able to wear them down.
Chicopee has been struggling the last couple of games. They've lost 4 of their last 5, the odd one out, a tie against Agawam. Their last time out, a 6-1 loss to fellow city rival Chicopee Comprehensive. Trevor Seidel-Poirier had the lone goal for the Pacers in that one. And Seidel-Poirier is going to be a player to keep our eyes on. Number 16 in the maroon and gold has 26 goals this season. That's about half of the goals that Chicopee has scored all season long.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be really something to watch. Whenever you have one guy who can really take over a hockey game like that, usually, you know, you're thankful that they can only play so much of the game. But with the way that Chicopee plays, you know, as we mentioned, they only have so many bodies. He's going to be out there a lot. So Fitchburg, the defenseman for the Fitchburg Monty Tech Red Raiders, they're going to be plenty busy this evening trying to keep 16 in check.
Indeed, I was talking with one of the assistants before the game, and he was saying there are a couple of players who pretty much never leave the ice, but this is something they've been dealing with all season. They've acclimated to it in a sense, but it is definitely a challenge, though, coming in. You only have 15 players on your roster, 5 of them scratched. It leaves you 8 skaters and 2 goaltenders, and Dylan Rooney has been battle-tested as well, has faced, by my estimates, about 500 shots this season across 15 games. This could be a high shooting game. This could even be a high scoring game. They've had a few of those this season as well.
Yeah, you know, I think it's really just going to be interesting to see what happens when the puck drops, when we see these two teams start to get acclimated toward one another as we ultimately get closer to puck drop here.
Indeed, so we'll take a breather. We'll let Jim Point give you the starting lineups and the national anthem, and after that, we'll be ready for puck drop here on Red Raider Ice Hockey on FATV.
Good evening, Good evening, high school hockey fans, and welcome to the Wallace Civic Center for today's Central West matchup between the Chicopee High Greyhounds and the Fitchburg Monty Tech Raiders. Here are the starting lineups. First for Chicopee. On defense, number 13, Anthony Bartolo. Defense, number 18, Neftali Romero. At wing, number 20, Tyler Bielecki. At wing, number 7, Craig Gassier. Starting at center, number 16, Trevor Seidel-Poirier. And in goal, number 24, Dylan Rooney. And now for the Raiders, at right wing, number 26, Jacob Pruneau. At center, number 17, Liam Hickey. Left wing, number 10, Cole Howard. Defense, number 8, Zach Plunkett. Defense, number 15, Robert Brogan. And in goal for the Raiders, number 1, Devin McGivern. Head coach for Fitchburg Monty Tech is Steve Lowney. Officials for tonight's game, Gil Lafort and John Crowley. Ladies and gentlemen, students, at this time, I would ask you all to please stand as we honor our nation and the flag with playing the Star-Spangled Banner.
Moments away from puck drop here at the Wallace Civic Center in Fitchburg. The Fitchburg Monty Tech Red Raiders playing host to the Chicopee Pacers. Daniel Bolak, Tim Foley here with you. Jared Roberts on camera tonight. Happy to have you along with us here tonight. And yeah, so any thoughts, Tim, on how the Red Raiders need to take care of this game?
Well, I mean, I think just, play your brand of hockey. I think the way that the schedule's kind of broken down, they're almost lucky to get a game like this. You come out of a tight overtime game against Northbridge just this past weekend, and so to be able to then have kind of another regular season game you could look at as sort of a tune-up as you await your opponent in the next round is really good. So you want to take care of a lot of the little things that you couldn't really in that game against Northbridge. So, and against an opponent like this in Chicopee, again, specifically, I think the game plan is just kind of run at them. Yes, they may have a lot of endurance built up over the course of the season, but Fitchburg's got great numbers and they've got some good skills, so they got to be able to just wear them down throughout the night.
Chicopee comes to tonight ranked 34th unofficially in the power ratings in Division 4. They are on the cusp of the playoffs, and with a 6-8-1 record, they need 3 wins and a tie over their last 5 games to ensure that they will be in the postseason. But they're going to be playing hungry in this contest, and obviously battle-tested throughout this campaign. It's going to be a very interesting contest. The Pacers out to the left side trying to find Craig Geisler. His pass intercepted. Jacob Pruneau trying to knock it into the Pacers zone. Now Geisler's going to have it back now on his stick for the Pacers. Takes the shot, but flubbed on, and Robert Brogan will pick it up in the left wing corner. Brogan goes around to the right side, kept it at the point. Shot whistles wide of the cage from the point there. Puck thrown in the direction of the slot, settled down by Liam Hickey. Now finds Pruneau, moving out for Cole Howard. Raiders starting their second line tonight as the Pacers back into the zone from Geisler. Zach Robillard settles in the left circle, skates it around to the far side, and pushes it up ice past the red line, whiffed on by the defenseman. Here's Riley Leblanc on the right side. Leblanc puts it across, one-timer off the side of the net. He's trying to feed Jaramillo on the doorstep, just couldn't get the accuracy required to put it past the keeper Dylan Rooney. Now in front of one-timer chance again on the left side, it's Colin Hines, who is denied by Rooney. Whiffed on by Pizarka. And eventually the second effort pushes it out of the zone. Delayed offside against the Red Raiders. They tag up. It'll be blasted down the ice, but it goes off Geisler on the right side of the red line, so it won't be icing. The way he reacted, he was not expecting that puck to strike him where it did. Fitchburg Monty Tech up the near side, pushes it to the red line. Off the boards, Neftali Romero trying to feed Caleb Morissette. Morissette in the left circle, drops off for Seidel Poirier, puts it across for a one-timer. Great chance for Geisler. Just couldn't play it off his stick well enough. Last from the point on the right side, Anthony Bartolo's shot goes wide of the cage. Now Romero again with a chance, but it's offline as well.
We just saw a moment ago one of the big reasons why Seidel Poirier has 26 goals. That was a beautiful move down the left side to even create the opportunity to, he nearly got an assist on it, but even still, just his playmaking ability already in this game is astounding. So it's going to be exciting to watch him throughout the night.
In his 4-year career with Chicopee, Seidel Poirier has 82 career goals. That one thrown into the zone, but way too high, hits the netting and goes out of play. 12:27 to go, first period, no score. Only one shot on target thus far, and it is for Fitchburg Monty Tech. But we definitely saw Chicopee buzzing a little bit. And yes, the concern with Chicopee, they only have 8 skaters at their disposal. But having worked through this season, there's going to be some of those guys like Seidel Poirier, perhaps, who we might not even see leave the ice.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be your best bet all night long. But, it's a balance of wanting to score as much as possible, of course, and wanting to not wear him out so much, given that you only have so many options. So we'll see.
Here's Tyler Brassard from the red line. He'll dump it in. Around the boards behind the net, Lucas Wiebe will retrieve that one. Romero puts him into the board. Center for Brassard. Mishandle, a shot through traffic. Ends up going off a body, then off the side of the net. Right wing corner, Kyle Gendron tries to center out to the left point looking for Peters, but he finds the stick of Bilecki instead. Raiders will knock it back into the Pacer end. Romero around the boards for Bilecki. And the loose puck taken by Brogan at his own blue line. Trying to evade Craig Geisler, junior forward. 5 seniors on the roster for Chicopee, which is going to lead to quite the numbers crunch, as that's thrown into the slot by Geisler, eventually knocked out by the skate of Brogan, and now behind the net, Brogan will retrieve, shaking off the dispossession attempt by Bilecki. Out of the zone it comes. Gendron getting tied up with Geisler. They push back blue line to blue line on the near side. Geisler with the takeaway. Geisler turned off and warded off by Robert Brogan. Geisler has 9 goals on the season, so he's going to be one of those players to watch as well. Not too many Red Raiders have 9 or more goals themselves. And by not too many, I mean Liam Hickey, Sammy Jaramillo, and Riley LeBlanc are the only 3 who have that many goals on the Red Raiders. Here is Liam Hickey. Throws it across, nobody there, but Cole Howard will pick it up off the bounce. Shot stopped by Rooney, and another chance can't be settled on by Hickey. Tossed around the boards by Chicopee. Out to the red line, Robillard will toss it in. Settled down by Bartolo. Right wing corner. Off the boards, near side, Geisler. Tried to feed Seidel Poirier, but instead Robillard will take it, puts the shot on, saved by Rooney. Picked up by Bartolo around the boards, kept in left point. Thrown back around right wing corner, it's Pruno. Pruno for Robillard. Geisler with his stick in there to jam it away from him and put it down the ice. 9:56 to go, first period, and there's a takeaway, a shot! And McGivern does have that one. The way he was holding the post there on the near side, I don't think he was too sure about it.
Yeah, that thing nearly trickled inside. That's a really nice pickup there from Chicopee's Bilecki, as he was able to take advantage of the turnover, streak right toward the front, and put it on McGivern in net. So I like what I've been seeing from this Chicopee team so far, but again, it's about sustainability. I'd say they definitely want to be able to strike early here because they've had a great number of chances, but I'd say their best time to score during the game is definitely going to be earlier rather than later.
Yep, especially when the legs are at their most fresh. This Chicopee team, as we've mentioned, just 8 skaters active tonight for the Pacers. So a lot of the luxuries that a team like Fitchburg Monty Tech, who basically can ice a full bench, the Pacers don't quite have. But they get the shot off there that McGivern's able to kick away with a little bit of desperation. Now, right circle shot deflects into the left wing corner. And here is Jaramillo. Out of his own end, up the near side, Riley LeBlanc will try to turn this into a breakaway as he puts it across, one-timer off the side of the net. As Rooney dove across to his right to try to cut that one down. But Colin Hines ultimately misfired, and that keeps the Raiders off the board. Here is LeBlanc again with a nifty moves. Tries again to feed Hines going to the doorstep. But again, can't quite get the stick on the puck. Up the right side, here's a burst of speed. A shot and a stop by McGivern. Thought he might have had it in the glove, popped out of it. That was Seidel Poirier making those moves, because of course it was. Offsides against the Red Raiders, 8:29 to go in the first.
You know, I think Fitchburg's doing a lot of things well right now in that they're streaking down the side. They've been slipping past these Chicopee defenders with a lot of ease, and they're doing well in centering the puck from the wings, but just a lot of these centering passes just aren't connecting by just a couple of inches. Fitchburg's doing a lot of things right. They just got to keep at it, and things will bounce their way eventually with the way they're playing.
Yep, that's been one of the challenges this year, is just trying to get those cross-ice passes settled. So many opportunities go by the wayside because you can't get the shot cleanly away once you have all the other execution. There's a shot in front by Wiebe and another chance. But Dylan Rooney able to stick with them and cover that up.
Yeah, good rebound control there. Puck was loose in front for a moment with a couple of white jerseys hanging around. So nice job by Rooney to be able to find it amid the scrum and put a glove over it.
Estimated stats for Rooney this year are 430 goals against an 868 save percentage. Those stats, by the way, are by no means official, but just an estimation of how many shots he's faced across the season. As in front, there's a great chance there by Brassard, and Rooney able to stretch out his legs to keep that out with the toe. Now Gendron's shot is blocked, goes off the leg of Anthony Bartolo. Stretch pass for Geisler is going to be icing. Notice Geisler slowed down a little bit as the puck flew past him because he knew it was going to get to the goal line for icing before he could run that one down. No touch icing in effect in high school ice hockey.
Yeah, I'm noticing the way that Chicopee's skating throughout this game. It's really interesting. You know, like we've said time and time again throughout this broadcast, they are used to having sort of limited numbers. So they're being pretty reserved, and they're being rather selective with when they want to put on the jets. Like you saw Geisler, he was ready to head down ice on a one-man break, but as soon as he saw it go past him, Dan, like you said, he nearly came to a full stop because it was not worth another stride.
Delayed offside against Chicopee, but Geisler now legally gains the zone on the left side boards, trying to hold the puck. And as he battles with Brogan, shoves him to the ice. Seidel Poirier picks it up left circle, gets a shot off, might have gotten the post there. Goes out to the right point, Bartolo. He takes the shot, tries to throw it in the direction of the left circle for Geisler. Brogan's able to win the puck, toss it around the boards for Plunkett. Plunkett tries to pounce it off the boards out of the zone, but it stays in. And now the Raiders will bring it out. Brogan just tosses it into the corner, and fresh set of legs will come on the ice for the Red Raiders. 6:45 to go, first period, no score. Shots 5-4 in favor of the Red Raiders. Robillard back in his own end on the near side, off the boards. Kept in by Seidel Poirier. It goes right back to Robillard. Second effort will get it out of the zone this time. Hops over the stick of Natali Romero. Romero, a junior, listed as a forward, was announced as a starting defenseman. And you have to imagine the positions are probably rather fluid when you only have 8 players at your disposal. Geisler tries to backhand into the zone, looking for Tyler Bilecki, who's got 8 goals on the season, the junior. Here is Liam Hickey into the left wing corner. Hickey's centering feed broken up by Rooney. Just puts the stick down there and breaks the pass up. And now Chicopee coming back the other way. Ran out of momentum for a moment, pushed it towards the slot, and eventually spit out and down the ice. Bartolo in pursuit of that puck with Cole Howard, making some aggressive strides, which he knows he's got the luxury to do. Forcing a turnover, Jaramillo, 1-on-2, and Pacers take it out of the zone. To the red line it goes. Colin Hines will try to regain, but the loose puck makes it to Romero, who knocks it out of the zone. Back to the center circle. Geisler trying to make some moves. 2 defensemen he had to beat. Wasn't able to beat either of them. Seidel Poirier settles it, skates parallel to the blue line, pushed into the Raider end. Peter Stevens trying to protect the puck. Bit of physicality there. It's a backhand shot stopped by McGivern, and he'll hold for a draw with 5:04 to go in the first. Shots are now 5 apiece.
And again, it really is just interesting to see the flow of this game. It's been a little bizarre. You know, as I mentioned, in Chicopee, they're playing kind of a slow brand, but they're still generating plenty of opportunity on the offensive end. And of course, you can largely thank the efforts of Seidel Poirier and the way he's been playing alongside Geisler as well. But even still, you know, it's been a 5-man effort whenever the 5 maroon jerseys are on the ice.
McGivern makes a save there and turns that one aside. The thought that comes to my head is it's like you're facing a pitcher in baseball who throws a knuckleball by trade. They're going to play, a lot of the pitches are going to be slow. They're going to have a lot of movement, a lot of deception on them. But then occasionally they're going to come back with a fastball. And that fastball is going to be a huge change of pace. And you may very well be caught out by it. Into the Chicopee zone, into the left wing corner. Riley LeBlanc thinking about the wraparound. Tried to get that backhand shot off, hit the side of the net instead. Jaramillo held up by the Pacers and tossed out of the zone. From his own blue line, Seidel Poirier tries to skate it up. Can't win the battle there. Flipped into the zone. High arcing chance. Grabbed out of the air by Rooney, played on, now out of the zone, and Brogan. And a bit of a stick battle with Pizarka. And the Red Raiders dump it back in. Chicopee immediately spits it back out. Wyatt Peters. Pass for Plunkett or Brassard isn't allowed to be taken. And a long distance shot is on target. And McGivern stops that one. 3:35 to go in the first, no score. On the near side, Robert Brogan battling with Tyler Bilecki. Skates it all the way around to the far side. Red Raiders trying to use a little bit of speed there to get past the men, but Chicopee well positioned and well disciplined, not allowing that to happen. Takeaway at the right point, Seidel Poirier stood up there, and here's Kyle Gendron. Gendron dumped to the ice by Romero. Still playing on here is Brassard. Into the left circle, tries to feed Wiebe, goes off his skate. And Dylan Rooney tracking that one. The senior keeper's got that covered with 2:58 to go in the first.
Yeah, I think Rooney was expecting that puck to find the stick of the crashing Red Raider, but instead it caught him in the skates and ended up coming right on him. So nice adjustment made by Rooney to be able to fend off the shot and keep it a tie game with just under 3 to go in the first.
6 shots for both teams. Chicopee has played a Central Mass team this year in Gardner, which is a common opponent. The Red Raiders, who played Gardner twice as part of Coughlin Conference play. The Red Raiders won both their meetings with the Wildcats. Chicopee won their meeting with Gardner as well. A 3-0 victory as part of Chicopee's own holiday tournament back in late December. A game which Chicopee outshot Gardner 51-31. Some very nice goaltending on both sides. Mark Quinn with 48 saves on 50 shots for Gardner, one of the best keepers in Central Mass, while Rooney got his lone shutout of the season with a 31 save performance. That one stolen, but Bilecki can't get a clean shot away. Round the boards to the left point. Romero tracks it down, goes left half boards. Geisler can't get a clean shot away, too many bodies in the way. Thrown back towards goal by Seidel Poirier, goes behind the net. He'll pick it up in the left wing corner with under 2 to go in the first. Romero's shot off the leg of Liam Hickey. Taken by the Raiders, backhanded off the boards. And now Jacob Pruno trying to skate up ice, trying to split 2 defenders. He gets a shot off and a kick save by Rooney. Raiders trying to slow it down a little bit as Riley LeBlanc in the left wing corner. Wanted to feed Hickey. That went off a skate and away from him. And Seidel Poirier 1-on-2. Trying to make nifty moves, trying to beat everybody. Couldn't do so.
And then real quick, Daniel, it looks like Chicopee defender Neftali Romero is laboring right now. He just hobbled off to the bench, but I'm not sure how much more we'll see of him this period.
That's also one of those challenges, as we said, for Chicopee is, trying to pace yourself. And if you get an injury like that with Romero, if he's laboring and not feeling at 100%, that's just going to make the task so much more hard, so much more difficult. 60 seconds to go in the period. As Jaramillo in the slot, his shot goes off the skate of Geisler. Into the left wing corner, Hines has Geisler get in the way of that. Around the boards to the near side, and a foot race for the puck. It just barely gets to the goal line, and icing will be called. Peter Stevens had the advantage in the race anyway, so even if hybrid icing were in effect, the icing would still be called, and the Raiders would still get this offensive zone faceoff with 42.9 to go in the period.
Well, if you're Fitchburg, this is a nice chance here at the end of the period to try to get something going. You've had your chances so far, but you haven't been able to capitalize on anything. And I think with 43 seconds here in an offensive zone draw, they have a real good chance.
Shot thrown on target, and it finds the pad of Rooney before it can find anybody's sticks, looking for a redirection. As Leblanc tries to hit the one-timer and whiffs on it for the most part. Seidel Poirier with a lot of speed up the left side, backhands behind the net. A wild release there's Geisler. Trying to find Seidel Poirier again. But 3 Raiders surrounding him. Now taken for a brief moment by Bartolo. Eventually out of the zone with 10 seconds. Here's Jaramillo. Up the right side. Circles back around the boards. 3 seconds. Gonna have to take the shot quick. And very nearly took the shot quick. But the one-timer whiffed on by Gendron. And at the end of 1 period of play, no score in the Central West Division 4 matchup between Fitchburg Monty Tech and Chicopee. This was going to be a Chicopee team we knew coming in that the Raiders absolutely could not underestimate. Just because they have a severe lack of depth on the team does not mean they're going to be a walkover. And through 15 minutes, Chicopee's hanging with them.
Oh, yeah, they definitely are. I mean, it was an exciting, it was an interesting period because, as I mentioned, Chicopee, they're playing a very interesting brand of hockey where they're being very, very selective when they choose to exert their energy. And, as we've mentioned, they really, they're used to playing like this. And it's an interesting style that I think Fitchburg's trying to get used to playing against. And I think once they're able to do that, and Fitchburg has had some good chances, but they just haven't been able to nail some of these passes. They've also allowed Rooney to make some nice saves. So if you're Fitchburg, just kind of keep doing what you're doing. I think they're moving in the right direction. They're out shooting Chicopee 8-6. And if you're Chicopee, I would say one of the big things, despite, perhaps wanting more players, is to want to cut down on allowing some of the odd man rushes that Fitchburg's had to this point so far. We've seen a lot of 2-on-1 breaks with cross-ice passes where Fitchburg's almost put one in backdoor, but a pass was just about a foot or so off. And then even just then at the end of the period, Fitchburg's just getting numbers around the net, and they almost put one in at the last second there. Gendron, if he didn't whiff on that one-timer, this could have been a 1-0 game going into the break. And so if you're Chicopee, eliminate some of the high percentage chances that that Fitchburg's been getting throughout this first period. And it should make for an interesting second as well.
We did say at the beginning of this broadcast, this was going to be a team unlike any that Fitchburg Monty Tech has seen before in this season. It's a very different brand of hockey that the Red Raiders are trying to acclimate to. And Chicopee, through 1 period, sticking right with them. No score through 15 minutes of play between the Red Raiders of Fitchburg Monty Tech and the Pacers of Chicopee High School. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the second period for you in about 10 minutes or so. So don't go away. This is Red Raider Ice Hockey on FATV. We're back here at the Wallace Civic Center on the campus of Fitchburg State University for this regular season finale for Fitchburg Monty Tech in the middle of their playoff run in the C-modded Class B tournament. Finishing off their regular season slate with the makeup game against the Pacers of Chicopee High School. Through 1 period of play, no score between the Red Raiders and the Pacers. Daniel Bolak, Tim Foley here with you. Jared Roberts on camera tonight. Happy to have you along with us. And during the first intermission, and I was telling you, Tim, I think I get this weird feeling of emptiness with how this first period has gone. We didn't have any scoring. We didn't have any penalties. It was just very, very strange, I felt.
Yeah, I mean, well, there was a lot of back and forth. And as I mentioned before in the first period, Chicopee, they're being very conservative with where they want to actually pursue the puck. And so they're kind of forcing Fitchburg into that as well, where the game's just sort of slowing down. There's been some good chances on both sides. There's been some flurries here and there, but we haven't seen a whole lot of high-intensity action, not a lot of battles going into the corners. Chicopee's almost kind of letting the puck go in a lot of these cases if they're unable to get the puck, because they know that, if they put a little too much into it, then it may eventually cost them toward the end of the game if they end up becoming too tired by the end of it. And so Chicopee's playing a very different brand of hockey than I really have ever seen, and they're sort of forcing Fitchburg into that and to have to adjust to that. If you're Fitchburg, you want to start to dictate the pace of play a bit more. You have the bodies, you have the guys to be able to do that, and so you really want to see Fitchburg moving up and down the ice a lot more this period, dumping the puck in deep, forcing Chicopee to chase after it, and if they're not willing to, then be the first one on it and get pucks out in front, get pucks on net. And we saw it a few times. Fitchburg nearly capitalized on it back in that first period. I think it's, again, just kind of continuing that script here in the second.
Yeah, that's a thought for me for Fitchburg Monty Tech. You don't want to get suckered into Chicopee's pace. They have to play more slowly, more methodically. They have to play more intelligently because they have to make their energy last for 45 minutes. But Al Stikowitz, the 36th year head coach of the Pacers, obviously has his team playing a strong enough system to keep themselves competitive against a team that has double the players at their disposal. We'll continue to see how this game develops for the second period. Tim Foley's got the call.
Thanks so much, Daniel, as we're underway now from the second period here at the Wallace Civic Center. Chicopee wearing their maroon and gold, skating from left to right here in the second frame, and Fitchburg Monty Tech in their white and maroons, skating from right to left. And so the puck finds itself down underneath the net of Devin McGivern. It'll be cleared out now, just held in by Bartolo at the Chicopee defensive line. And there we see it. Bartolo, he had dumped it in, but then both he and Romero for the Pacers, they both backed out of the zone as if to get ready for a rush down ice for Fitchburg so that they wouldn't have to be doubling back and working too much at it should the puck then be cleared out of the zone. As it's now held onto in the near corner by Bilecki. Tries to give it up to the point to look for Bartolo, but now it's a puck that's found back at the defensive line here for the Pacers. Batted further into the attacking zone by Fitchburg's Jacob Pruno. Now cleared out of the zone here. Pruno picks it up. He'll rifle it back down beneath the net of Rooney. Now it's along the near side here. Fitchburg holds on, left corner, pass out in front. Rooney able to make the glove save. Out in front was Riley LeBlanc, the captain, tried to put it high glove side on Rooney, but a nice piece of glove work there from Rooney to keep it a tie game.
LeBlanc had a pretty good week last week, 6 goals in 3 games, 2 hat tricks, and he's the most dangerous player the Red Raiders have at their disposal. He's trying to go bar down on that, but good glove there by Rooney.
And then another chance here. Rooney's able to stick down the right pad to deny a couple of opportunities for the Red Raiders. Now quickly back the other way come Chicopee. Seidel Poirier had it for a moment, ended up losing it. Now it's held on to here by the Fitchburg defense. Stretch pass, no good, intended for Colin Hines, but just about a foot in front of his reach, and so we'll have a face-off come all the way back down inside the Fitchburg zone. Just about a minute, 44 seconds passed here in the second period. Still a tie game. Shots in favor of Fitchburg in this period so far, 2-0. Face-off to the blocker side of Devin McGivern in net for the Red Raiders, and then a slip-up on the part of Zach Robillard. Picked up the puck on the face-off and lost an edge as he swung back toward the corner. Ended up putting it right on McGivern, so that actually does count as a shot on the scoreboard, says scorekeeper here today, Jim LeBlanc. And so shots now 2-1 in the period favoring Fitchburg. Batted out of the zone now. Riley LeBlanc tries to carry it up the near side. He finds Colin Hines. Stretch pass now up ahead. Save made by Rooney. Sammy Jaramillo was alone out in front, but Rooney did a nice job of staying square at the opportunity and making the save. Now Fitchburg back in their own end. They're able to clear it out. Puck batted around in the neutral zone. Spun forward by LeBlanc to Jaramillo. Has it knocked off of his stick. Jaramillo trying to square up with Neftali Romero. Now it's out in front. Rooney loses an edge for a moment. Fitchburg couldn't put it away. Leblanc chased after it. Now it's along the near side here. Spun back out of the zone by Chicopee's Caleb Morissette. That'll go all the way down for an icing. Nobody able to intercept that puck along the way. 12-18 to go in the second period.
And for Rooney, he's a senior netminder. He's a 4-year player for Chicopee. And to think he's not exactly affected necessarily by the fact that he's got so few players, but I wonder how much of a difference in strategy it must be having a shorter roster to deal with, besides just feeling like you're probably going to be facing shots more often than the average goalkeeper.
Yeah, you know, I think for Chicopee, it's more about kind of forcing shots more toward the outside. You know, when you have fewer players, you want to try to limit quality chances as best you can. And so if he's facing a lot of shots, you know, so long as they're coming from the outside, those are better looks for Rooney. Inez makes a nice right leg save from the puck that bounces on net from the slot. Now back up ice into the Fitchburg zone. The Red Raider defense will corral and try to clear it out. Going to have the game's first penalty in a moment here as Tyler Bilecki brought down the captain for the Red Raiders, Robert Brogan, and now puck comes all the way down. What would normally be an icing is just going to be a stoppage here as McGivern will go back to his cage. And as mentioned, Bilecki to the box for the game's first penalty. 2 minutes tripping, or rather, with 11:28 to go in the second period here. Faceoff set to come to the blocker side of Rooney.
I have been really impressed with Rooney's athleticism in goal. He's made a lot of tremendous saves, and he's a very reactionary goalie as well.
Having those reflexes so important. He's also made some nice positional saves as well. Just being in the right place, knowing where to be in a situation.
Chicopee penalty, number 20.
All on your
Tyler Bilecki. 2-minute minor for tripping.
And so the clock has started, but as another nice save made by Rooney, the penalty clock hadn't actually started for about 5, 6, maybe even 10 seconds after play had actually started. And so we'll get the discrepancy on that in a moment. We'll see just when, Bilecki should come out of the box. But for now, Fitchburg on the power play, and a Red Raider brought down just then. Colin Hines was brought down to the ice by Craig Geisler, but no penalty on the play.
He should come out of the box with 9:28 on the clock.
And so it was for about 19 seconds that the clock was not moving on the scoreboard, or the penalty clock, I should note.
It was just one of those cases, I think, where you turn off the penalty clocks during the intermission, turn them back on for the start of the period, and sometimes you just forget to hit that button. May have just been force of habit too, considering that during the intermission, there weren't any carryover penalties, but the referees are right on top of that, and now they're going to reset the clock properly.
As Rooney got a cover on it. Face-off set to come to the near side here, blocker side of Rooney. 10:09 to go in the second period. Still a tie game, 0-0. 41 seconds remain on the penalty to Tyler Bilecki after the referees adjust the clock. Face-off one back by Chicopee. They try to clear it out, and they will. Sammy Jaramillo tried to keep it in, but he brought it just outside the zone, and so the Red Raiders have to touch up. They hold on back in their own defensive zone, now carrying it over the red line, then blue. Up the far side now. Here comes Riley Leblanc. Tries to center it, looking near side. Tried to find Lucas Wiebe, but caught him on the offhand. Had nowhere to put it. Chicopee's able to clear it out of the zone. Right back in is Wiebe. Here he is, left side. Tries to bring it in. Met by the stick of the defenseman Neftali Romero for the Pacers. Now another chance out in front. Chicopee holds on here. Out of the box now is Bilecki. Pacers back to 5. As this shot's going to be tipped up and out of play. Down the right side was Anthony Bartolo. His attempt blocked. 9:22 to go in the second. Shots favoring Fitchburg, 13-7.
Just more sound positioning by Chicopee on that penalty kill. Red Raiders with not too many high danger opportunities, maybe a couple of passes, but they just kept getting cut down in the slot. Just well positioned by Chicopee to get that penalty kill.
And you get the sense that this Chicopee team really does understand positioning so well. I mean, even just then, as you saw, Leblanc standing right in the passing lane as Fitchburg was looking to go to the slot. Leblanc ultimately sends it all the way down for an icing. So we'll have a faceoff come back inside the Chicopee zone nonetheless. But I think just another aspect of this Chicopee game that is excellent and that has allowed them to be competitive this season is a very impressive understanding of where each player needs to be on the ice at every given point in time. As Leblanc will shovel it back down low for Bartolo. He'll give it all the way around, only then to find Kyle Gendron. Gendron tries to put it out in front, but another nice glove save from Dylan Rooney. Boy, how about it, Dylan Rooney? He has been a huge factor so far in this game here today. 14 saves on 14 shots.
He's had to do a lot of work for those 14 saves. I've been very impressed by his play in goal.
Puck given back down low, held on to now. Valley Romero gives it all the way around. Leblanc chips it out of the zone, and he's able to find Poirier streaking down the right side with it here, working on McGivern to drive. And that one rides high up into the chest of McGivern, and we'll have a stoppage with 8:42 to go in the second period.
I was talking to you before the game that I feel Devin McGivern probably feels coming into this game rebound control was something he wanted to work on a little more. He had a couple of instances during the Northbridge game on Saturday where things didn't quite go the way that he had wanted. And on that shot from Seidel Poirier, you could see him clutching that puck so hard against his chest, making sure that it wasn't going to escape his trapper.
Yeah, you don't want to allow the puck to pop loose, especially when you have a highly skilled playmaker like Poirier just in front of you like that. Rooney will glove that one down. He'll leave it off for his teammate and Anthony Bartolo, but a poor turnover here into the slot. Fitchburg has it now. Left side shot. Save made by Rooney. On the left side, it was Kyle Gendron who tried to break this stalemate, but once again, Rooney, an impressive display of athleticism there to be able to react as his team turned the puck over in a poor area. Now along the near side here, Fitchburg once again. Here's Jaramillo. He's pushed off the puck into the corner. Held on to by Bartolo now, trying to clear it out. Pacers can't move it out of the zone. Once again, Jaramillo tries to center it. He's able to find his teammate in Leblanc out in front. Puck batted around, it's beneath the net. Rooney without a stick, he's able to make the save. Not sure if it's got his right leg or his blocker, but Rooney without a stick gets some padding on it nonetheless and keeps it out of the net. Chicopee clears it all the way down for an icing. 7:35 to go, about midway through this second period here.
We talk about how much a goalie seems to panic when he loses his paddle, but Rooney kept his composure. He's even able to make that athletic save there with the right side of his body to keep that puck out and keep it scoreless, even when he didn't have the comfort of his blade in his stick.
Now Fitchburg comes right back into the zone. Right side save made by Rooney. He sprawled down on the ice. Puck was loose in front of the net with no goalie, but it found a way to stay out. Now it's once again to the near corner. Riley Leblanc cannot hold on to it. Poirier now streaking down ice. 3-on-2 for the Pacers if they can play it right. Here's Poirier a drive. Devin McGivern makes the save and covers up the rebound. 7:04 to go.
That's Trevor Seidel Poirier there just storming up the ice. He's going to be using those speed boosts methodically, if you will, and how he deploys them, tries to catch the Raiders out, especially in that particular circumstance, able to turn that into an odd man rush. It's probably not something we're going to see too much out of Chicopee, with Seidel Poirier leading the way on that. It's going to be a dangerous chance no matter what.
So the face-off comes to the blocker side of McGivern. Battle along the far wall now. It's chipped out of the zone by Fitchburg. They look to move down ice. They'll have to dump it in as offsides briefly was Jacob Pruneau. A nice keep along the defensive blue line by Robert Brogan. Brogan was able to carry it down low beneath the net. Chicopee ends up stripping it away and clearing it out of the zone. 6.5 to go here in the second period. Still scoreless. Fitchburg continues to have the run of things, but Chicopee's had a few chances. Now Fitchburg in the attacking end here. Pruneau tries to bat it low with the backhand. Now it's held on to near side. Cole Howard. His backhand tries to center it. He was looking for Liam Hickey. Chicopee, some nice positioning and a nice right pad save by Rooney. He's able to deny the blast that came from Jacob Pruneau along that right dot. Pruneau down to one knee on the one-timer and unable to find the back of the net. Now here's Poirier, tries to leave it back for Bilecki. Held on to now beneath the net. Geisler loses it. Fitchburg tries to clear it out along the far side. McGivern a blocker save, but Geisler nearly able to bat it out of the air toward the net mouth, but it just hopped off the top of his stick and ended up in the far corner. Now here's Geisler once again, down beneath the net of McGivern. Tries to give it up top for Bilecki, a drive. That goes off the side of the net. Now Geisler once again battling, finds Bilecki along the near side. It's back up to Bartolo. A drive right into the skates of a Red Raider. Down the ice, here they come. Colin Hines, he's in alone. Save made, Rooney, they score! Red Raiders able to follow up on the odd man break down ice to put Fitchburg Monty Tech up 1-0 with 5:10 to go in the second period.
Riley Leblanc was the Red Raider who followed on the rebound. And that was a very unorthodox breakaway, it seemed. Hines had the rush up ice, and it felt like the wings of Jaramillo and LeBlanc were basically shepherding him along the way. It was practically a 3-on-none in a sense, but they were right there marking the defenders. And although Rooney was able to make the initial save on Hines' shots, it ended up being the rebound from LeBlanc, getting his 19th goal of the season. That gives us the first strike of this contest.
Goal by number 23, Riley LeBlanc. Assisted by number 20, Colin Hines. And number 8, Zach Plunkett. Time of the goal, 9:50, second period.
Plunkett going to get an assist as well, and here they come once again. Rooney, another save, puck loose in front, and Rooney spins onto his side to stop play. Oh boy, Fitchburg has been buzzing these past few minutes. And you think back to really how that play started back up for Fitchburg. It was unfortunate for Anthony Bartolo, the junior defenseman along the right point, trying to get the puck in deep and get it on McGivern, but sent it right into the skates of, I believe, Plunkett was the Red Raider who had it bounce off of his blades, which is why he was credited for the assist. And so fortunate for him, he's able to get the assist, but unfortunate for Bartolo as the play ended up resulting in the game's first goal. As here's Poirier, almost able to get it back. What a beautiful move down ice to keep it on his stick. Now here he is again in the high slot, and they score! Geisler follows up the rebound to tie the game. 4:28 to go, just 42 seconds later.
Oh, that was great pressure from Chicopee there, especially those great shots there by Seidel Poirier. And that last one going off the backboards, but it found Craig Geisler, the junior forward, right on the doorstep for his 10th goal of the season, for Seidel Poirier's 10th assist of the season, and we're level at 1.
Play opening up a bit here as both teams finding the back of the net, and then nearly another break off of the face-off for the Red Raiders, and now here they come down ice up the left side. Wiebe tried to put it out in front, ends up coming over to the near corner here, picked out by Bilecki. Bilecki, the stretch pass along the far side, just hops over the stick of Geisler. We'll say he just got a piece of it and that there is no icing. Fitchburg's able to clear it, but it's met immediately by the stick of Bartolo. Now held on to up the far wall. Geisler able to redirect Poirier's feed.
Assisted by number 13, Anthony Bartolo, and number 16, Trevor Seidel Poirier.
Bartolo and Seidel Poirier, excuse me, able to get the assist on Geisler's goal. So 3:33 to go in the second period now. Back up to the left point. Here's Bartolo, right side, walks in, his stride goes off the stick of Tyler Broussard up into the protective netting, and we'll have a stoppage with 3:26 to go. Face-off set to come to the glove side of Devin McGivern.
10 saves for McGivern, 22 saves for his counterpart, Dylan Rooney. We saw goals in the span of a minute for both sides, and just playing the advantage of rebounds, whether it be off the goaltender or off the backboards. And it was going to be challenging for Rooney or McGivern to come away with the saves with just how well those shots were placed.
As it's back now in the Fitchburg zone, just over 3 minutes to go. Poirier down the right side. His shot save made by McGivern. McGivern able to hold tight in the butterfly, deflects off of his right leg back into the end boards. A good stick from Neftali Romero to deny the odd man break for Fitchburg as they hold on here. Chicopee in the attacking end. Geisler tries to put it out. A drive from the left point, save made by McGivern. He will scoop up the rebound. Romero let it go from the left point. And Chicopee, they have been bringing some good energy here these past few minutes. I would say a really nice shift, but I don't know if you can measure ice time in shifts for this Chicopee team, because it's effectively just the one line with a couple of rotating pieces every now and then. As Fitchburg back down ice, a good check there from Bartolo to knock the Red Raider Wyatt Peters off the puck, or pardon me, no, Riley LeBlanc. Now back the other way, McGivern makes another high save and holds on. 2:18 to go in the second.
We've been talking about it throughout the game. If you are tuning in late, this Chicopee side only has 8 skaters at their disposal tonight. 3 skaters on the bench and the reserve keeper and Ryan Mercer. That's all they've got tonight. They have 5 other players in the roster, all scratched for various reasons.
Now backdoor, oh my goodness, Tyler Bilecki nearly had a chance to put Chicopee out in front, but the backhand just couldn't direct it on net. Now here's a 2-on-1 the other way for the Red Raiders. Centering feed, no, it's deflected just wide left. Colin Hines, he had daylight back on the other end. Couldn't get it to go. Now Chicopee trying to work down ice. Here's Bilecki, he'll gain the red and dump it in. Karams off the end plate. Kicked back down low by McGivern, and now up the near side. Red Raiders clear it out of the zone. Far side now in the attacking end. Here comes LeBlanc. Holds it in the corner, puts it out in front. Chance for a save out in front as Rooney's able to make a nice save on Colin Hines. Now another chance for LeBlanc from this high slot, sends it wide left. Rooney didn't have to make a save on it. Near corner here in the Chicopee zone. Bilecki's able to get it up to Poirier. Now here's Poirier. He'll take a long distance bid that forces the Zamboni driver here tonight to have to take a step back. Took a funky deflection off of the protective netting straight down. 1:13 to go in the second period here. Shots favoring Fitchburg 24-15. But it's tied 1-1 right now, and Tyler Bilecki nearly had his 10th goal of the season.
I think they think they're finding this strategy to have Seidel Poirier shoot it off the end boards and try to play the bounce off of there. That's how they got the goal, and they very nearly got that second one there from Bilecki.
You'll have to excuse me, that would be Bilecki's 9th were he to score. As now here's Fitchburg in the attacking zone. Back up to the point was Jaramillo. Had to give it back down low, but a nice clear here from Chicopee. They bring it up the left side. Poirier chasing after it. Down low beneath the net of McGivern. Poirier trying to peel it away. Fitchburg holds on here. Poirier, a nice read. He's able to hold on. Keeps it in the blue line just barely. His shot goes wide right. Rebound out for Geisler on the far side. Couldn't be put away. Didn't get to him. As now up ice come the Red Raiders. Here LeBlanc again. Rooney makes the save. Sprawling from left to right. Able to stick with LeBlanc. As now a centering feed. LeBlanc once again in front. Broken up nicely by Bartolo. Deflects it off into the far corner and then cleared out thereafter. 5 seconds to go in the period. Pacers along the far side trying to move along. Here's Bartolo streaking in, but he will be stopped by the buzzer, and we will end the second period the way we came in. All tied, except this time the score now, Chicopee 1, Fitchburg 1.
Go ahead.
No, yes, shots in this period favoring Fitchburg 25-15, and I would say a much more intense second period there, Daniel.
Yeah, I think the teams are finding their legs a little more.
Shots on goal, second period. Raiders 17. Chicopee had 9.
17-9 the shots in that period. Chicopee getting most of them late. I think Chicopee was finding a strategy, and now they know with Trevor Seidel-Poirier, with how lively these backboards are, that they can just have him shoot. If it's on target, great. If it's not on target, you can play the bounce off the boards with how hard he's hitting, how hard the puck's hitting the boards, how far it's ricocheting back. That's how they got that goal there from Craig Geisler. And the Raiders, 17 shots on that period, but that was just a tremendous period, too, for Dylan Rooney. 16 saves for the senior netminder, moving every which way, coming up with a few really, really good saves. A lesser goalie in net for Chicopee, and the Raiders probably have 5, 6, maybe more at this juncture, but only one on the board, and it took a rebound off a breakaway. And there's nothing you can really do if you're Rooney. He made the initial stop, but just didn't have the coverage to stop Leblanc from following on at close range. And that's, I guess, sort of a summary first period and how that's all gone. It's been a very, very interesting contest between these two teams.
It certainly has been to this point, and we'll see. This is kind of, I guess, what you could say we've been waiting for is the third period. Now that we've played 2 full periods, we'll see just how Chicopee is able to come out in this third. And I have to say, they didn't look all that gassed by the end of the second. I thought they had still really nice jump to their game. You had some good chances down the ice. Poirier's made it a couple of nice looks. He still looks like he's got a lot of life in him. And so we'll see just how the Pacers come out in these last 15. We'll see who wants it more. It's a 1-period hockey game to go here from the Wallace Civic Center. 1-1 the score. We'll be back in about 13 and a half. Don't go too far. You're watching Fitchburg Monty Tech Red Raiders Ice Hockey here on FATV.
Back here at the Wallace Civic Center on the campus of Fitchburg State University, getting ready for the start of the third period of action between the Red Raiders of Fitchburg Monty Tech and the Pacers of Chicopee High School. And through 2 periods of play, it's a 1-1 hockey game. Daniel Bolak, Tim Foley here with you, Jared Roberts on camera. Happy to have you along with us here tonight. While we have a moment, we want to thank all of our underwriters who help make all of our FATV remote productions possible. They are Workers Credit Union, the Sentinel and Enterprise, Rollstone Bank and Trust, Unitil, UMass Memorial Health, Health Alliance Clinton Hospital, North End Subaru, and Minuteman Press. Now going into this third period, these are 2 teams. This is a regular season finale for the Red Raiders. They only have one other game for sure coming up until the state playoffs, and that is a CMATA Class B semifinal against the winner of Worcester and St. Paul. That semifinal between Worcester and St. Paul is going to be played on Wednesday night, so we won't know until after that game who the opponent is going to be. As for this Chicopee side, they still have 4 more games after this one, all on the road. They're playing Chick Comp, their crosstown rival again on the 18th, Westfield on the 19th, Agawam on the 23rd, and they also have to make up a game with Wacona that was supposed to be played on Saturday, but that fell through for whatever reason. I'm hoping it's not a case of if a tree falls in the Berkshires, does it make a sound? In any case, though, for these 2 teams, they're still battling for seeding positions in the state tournament. For Fitchburg Monty Tech, they're 13th coming into tonight, and they could use another good performance to ensure that they can get a home game in the first round. As for Chicopee, they're 34th. They can get into the playoffs with a 500 record. That means going at least 3-1 over their last 5 games. But they can also get in with good performances to get themselves into the top 32. So it's still very much an important game for these 2 teams.
Yeah, it certainly is. And, you know, whenever you have a single period left of hockey, it's a tie game. We've been talking about how if you're Chicopee, you've been a little reserved all night long. Well, time to empty the tank. You got 15 minutes left, and I think I've really liked what I've seen from these top guys here for Chicopee and Bilecki, Geisler, as well as Poirier, and we'll see just how much they're able to turn it on here in the third, and we'll see what kind of performance we get out of these teams out of the puck drop.
Raiders going with the first line to start the third period, definitely trying to shake things up a little bit as they started the second line their first couple of frames. Red Raiders in the home white uniforms with maroon numbering and trim going from left to right in the third period. And the Pacers in the road maroons with gold trim and white numbers. As there's Jaramillo with the shot and the kick save by the goaltender Dylan Rooney, who's now made 25 saves on the contest. Chicopee with the stretch pass up the left side. Craig Geisler picks it up on his backhand, but Peter Stevens has the wheels. Moves it around to the far side. Tyler Bilecki try to disrupt things. The Red Raiders have it, skated through their own slot, and now here is Riley Leblanc. He's got the goal for the Red Raiders. On the far side, Chicopee able to take control of the puck, throw it back into the left wing corner, where Stevens will collect. Leblanc with a touch on for Jaramillo, getting tied up there with Vitaly Romero. Trevor Seidel-Poirier is called offside as Craig Geisler hadn't quite cleared the zone. Minute 7 gone in the third period. And a face-off coming outside the Red Raider zone. Liam Hickey to take the draw for the Red Raiders. Seidel-Poirier may very well have taken every draw tonight for Chicopee. I don't know if there have been that many draws where he hasn't taken it. But when you only have 8 players at your disposal, maybe perhaps they only have one center. Hickey trying to push it past Seidel-Poirier, who'll pick it up right side in his own end. Lost the puck, he left it there, but fortunately for him, it was Anthony Bartolo who was the first to notice.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a wet spot there behind the net because that puck just seemed to stick to that part of the ice.
And there's a quick shot. Silent but nearly deadly as it goes just wide of the goal. Hickey, and now here's Pruno on the left side. Along Howard, shot, deflects up into the air. Lands in the right wing corner. Hickey tries to throw it out in front, was looking for Howard, found a skate of a pacer instead. Bilecki on the far side, lost a handle on the puck, followed on the middle of the blue line by Seidel-Poirier, and eventually pushed back in the zone by the Red Raiders. They'll go and get some fresh legs. 12:45 to go in the third in a 1-1 hockey game as Geisler from the red line will dump it in out of the reach of Brogan. He'll come back, he'll take the puck deep in his own end, up for Leblanc. Just makes the touch on for Sammy Jaramillo. His pass will not be icing as he gained the red line, and it was obtainable enough. Thrown in front! And that had to be great reactions there, but by Dylan Rooney, anything less and it would be 2-1 Raiders.
And again, we're seeing Fitchburg kind of get back to that style we saw them playing throughout the first period is where I really noticed it most, despite Fitchburg able to get a tally in the second, where they're just kind of putting it out in front, seeing what happens. Trying to generate a lot of traffic out in front and just kind of hope that something's able to find a way in.
And just try to get players out to the top of the blue paint and try to put in shots at close range. There's another shot that's stopped by Rooney. He's stretched out, sprawled out. The puck is still available, and another shot through traffic does not find its way through the labyrinth as it's deflected up into the netting and out of play.
And there you have it once again. I mean, Fitchburg's just trying to simplify their game here. Just put it toward the net and force Rooney to have to make saves, and he did make a couple of nice ones just then.
I'll tell you this right now, Dylan Rooney is the greatest goalie I've ever seen who wears number 24.
Fair enough, yeah, we were talking about that pregame. Just not a conventional goalie number, but a goalie number nonetheless. Evident by his wearing it tonight.
He'll make it his own, as here's Hines on the far side in the pacer end, trying to bring it to the slot, but Bartolo gets his stick in the way. Here's Geisler into the zone, got a shot off. It's stopped by McGivern, juggled it for just a brief moment, but he made sure he had that covered up for a draw.
Yeah, if you're Chicopee, you have to be buzzing toward the net, even if you unleash a high shot and it looks like McGivern's got it. Daniel, you talked about it a bit from that Northbridge game. Sometimes McGivern doesn't always wrap up those rebounds, and even here tonight we've seen a couple of them drop on those high shots, and so if you're Chicopee, crash the net as soon as you're able to get a shot up high because you don't know what's going to pop out.
That's the advantage of being able to watch the goalie as the game goes on. See how he plays. Is that one backhanded just wide of the cage? Missed the net by not very much. As Kyle Gendron out for Tyler Brassard. Can't play it cleanly. Seidel-Poirier into the zone. Was some nifty moves, but he loses a handle on the puck. Gets it back, goes to the left point, Romero across, one-timer for Geisler. Didn't get all the strength on that one, and it's offline and wide. Kept at the right point by Bartolo. Geisler throws it for Seidel Poirier. He's not in position. He throws it back across. But again, the pass just a little offline. Another shot. That's gloved by McGivern. There'll be no rebound there. 10:40 to go in the third. 1-1 the score.
A nice glove there from McGivern, but you go back just probably about 10 seconds when Poirier had put the puck through the slot. It went through two different Pacers. Frustrating break there for Chicopee, who could have had a really nice look at a chance to take this lead.
And off the draw, Seidel Poirier just storming to the puck. Goes for the wraparound. Just fell off his stick. Into the right point, could not be handled cleanly enough by Leblanc. Now out of the zone it comes. Here's Jaramillo going for Leblanc. Leblanc on 19 already this year, going for 20, puts it across, wanting to find Hines. How many times we've seen him try to do that? But that time they could see the Pacer there engaging in battle with Hines, not letting him get a clean look. And Rooney able to cover it up. 10:18 to go in regulation time in a 2-2 hockey game. 1-1 hockey game. Maybe I'm trying to predict the future. Who knows? Both teams would only want half of that prediction to be true, though. There's a shot from the left side, flubbed on a little bit, and easily caught by Rooney. First 28th save of the contest. Another face-off coming to the senior keeper's right. Jaramillo to take the draw for the Red Raiders. Seidel Poirier, as we've mentioned, he's been taking just about every draw, if not every draw. As Chicopee able to settle it down, get it out of the zone. 2-on-1 coming back the other way. Seidel Poirier, nifty moves, to goal! He shoots and scores! Trevor Seidel Poirier, with his 27th goal of the season, has given the Pacers a 2-1 lead.
Are you kidding me? Trevor Seidel Poirier, wow. I mean, he knows what he just did. The nice moves up ice. He's got a big smile on his face. The way he was able to carve through the Fitchburg defense and then just pivot on a dime, able to work his way around McGivern. Wow. I mean, what a move there. Just really, I mean, he was benefited by the fact that he had a Pacer with him, so the Fitchburg defender couldn't commit entirely to the body of Poirier, which allowed the ice to open up a bit for him to get past McGivern, but just beautiful execution on the move, and Chicopee's finding themselves up 2-1 despite being outnumbered 2-1.
An outshot 29-18.
Chicopee second goal by number 16, Trevor Seidel Poirier. Assisted by number 18, Neftali Romero. Time to go 5:14.
Lone assist goes to Neftali Romero, just his third assist of the campaign.
From Romero.
Offside against Chicopee there, and yeah, that's just one of the things that comes to mind is you never want to let the most dangerous player on the other team get that close to the keeper, because bad things will happen. That's how Riley Leblanc got his goal, just potting a rebound after a save on a shot by Hines. And in that case, Seidel Poirier, leading a 2-on-1, was able to put all those tremendous moves on there, and not a whole lot Devin McGivern could do about it. 27th goal of the season, 83rd career goal for Seidel Poirier. He is the game breaker for this Chicopee team. I think without a player like him, and without a goaltender like Dylan Rooney, what would this Chicopee team even be? Here is Seidel Poirier again. He's got another rush up ice, trying to get to goal. 2 Red Raiders taking him out. All legal, and they're able to get the loose puck, bring it up ice. Here's Riley Leblanc. Now for Jaramillo, stick in the way there. That was Romero getting his blade down. Seidel Poirier out far side. Bilecki throws it on target, paddled away by McGivern. 8:20 to go in the third period. It's 2-1 to Chicopee. No icing here. And for the Pacers, slightly annoyed, they're going to have to go and retrieve that puck. Waste a little bit of the precious energy they've been storing up throughout the contest. This Bartolo trying to bring it into the zone. He's got 3 goals on the season. The cut down in the slot. Jacob Pruno on the near side. Picks it up on the boards. Throws it in the direction of goal, but well behind it. Liam Hickey backhands it along. Bartolo trying to get out of the zone. Hickey can't keep it in. Seidel Poirier on a 3-on-2 perhaps, but they'll slow it down. Drop it off in the right circle. Geisler can't get a shot away. He had the first goal for Chicopee back in the second period. Rooney throws it around the net to the near side. Hizarka trying to make a play on it. Eventually cleared down the ice, and this will be icing. Clock will stop with 7:20 to go in the third. The Red Raiders trailing for the first time tonight.
This has not been a very physical game. We've talked a lot about the intensity, you know, the pace of skating and what have you. As you could argue, it may finally be starting to get to some of the Pacers here. A bit of a huddle over the net, as briefly hunched over was Anthony Bartolo. But if you're Fitchburg, you have to be looking at that. You have to realize, you know, these guys are at the end of their rope here. You know, they're so low on energy at this point. You got to be putting pucks out in front a bit more often, and you got to play a more physical brand of hockey. You got to be punishing Chicopee as they're going after these pucks, because Chicopee, they're not really losing anything if they're not taking a hit after trying to make a play.
There's Seidel Poirier again on the right side. Shoots, puts it behind the net. And another shot thrown towards goal off the leg of Stevens. Flutters to McGivern. He'll go and cover. Since the game against Gardner back on December 28th, only twice has Seidel Poirier been kept off the goal side of the score sheet, and both of those games were against Ludlow. That was the only team that was really able to neutralize him. He was able to get a goal in every other game, including a season high of 5. He did that in consecutive games. A 7-2 win over Wacona and a 6-5 loss to Minichog. And here's Leblanc again. The one-timer couldn't be finished. It's just out of the reach of Hines. How many times has it popped over his stick tonight? He's got to be frustrated with that. It's Bartolo on the right side. Has it poked off his blade. Out of the zone it'll come. Geisler will try to settle it. On the near side. Stevens along for Sammy Jaramillo. Into the zone he goes. But moved off the puck. Red Raiders in the middle of line changes. Have to double back into their own end with 6:05 to go in the third period. Chicopee up 2-1. On the near side, here is Leblanc. Leblanc trying to get towards goal, but pressure from behind there by Bartolo and by Romero. Left wing corner, and Broussard will push a pacer into the boards. Is Bilecki around to the near side, to the red line. Brogan will throw it back in. Bartolo will blast it down the ice. 180-footer, essentially. And McGivern will stop that one. And the Pacers happy with that chance, because that means no icing. Battle for on the red line. Nifty move by Seidel Poirier to take command of the puck. Gets a great shot off. Stopped by McGivern. Popped out of the glove for just a brief moment. But he puts the blocker down and covers it up for a draw. 5:13 to go in the third period. 9 shots in this period for Chicopee and just 4 for the Red Raiders. Pacers have all the momentum in this contest. And timeout going to be called here. So very interesting how this game has developed. 2-1 Chicopee in front. Just going to go over the schedules a little bit for how these teams have done for Chicopee. So they opened with 3 losses, 8-0 to West Springfield, 4-3 to South Hadley, and 11-3 to Agawam before they finally caught their stride. 3-0 win over Gardner. Amherst Pelham, they beat 5-1. Wacona 7-2. Then the loss to Minichog. Those were the back-to-back 5-goal games for Seidel Poirier. Wins over East Longmeadow, Amherst Pelham, and South Hadley, 6-4, 3-1, 6-4. That was their most recent win back on the 25th of January. 4 losses and a tie since back-to-back games against Ludlow in a home-and-home. Lost 3-2 and 5-0. And as we mentioned, Seidel Poirier left off the goal side in both games. A tie against Agawam, and then back-to-back losses, 6-3 to Longmeadow and 6-1 to the crosstown rival in Chicopee Comprehensive. For this Chicopee side, 15 players on the roster tonight, 13 skaters, 2 goaltenders. And 5 of those skaters scratched tonight. For just 8 skaters out there for Chicopee. Seidel Poirier's been out there essentially the entire game, but they have been playing tremendous hockey. With a little over 5 minutes to go in this game, Chicopee trying to hold on to a 2-1 lead, but now the Raiders, they're going to be desperate for a goal. Colin Hines slammed in the boards by Bartolo. Jaramillo turns around, tries to feed it to Hines, can't get enough strength on it. Chicopee gets it out of the zone. Stevens throws it on target, towards the target, but offline. Delayed offsides might not have counted had it gone anyway. Seidel Poirier wins the puck right side, throws on goal, save, rebound, just missed there. Geisler whiffed on the loose puck, having bounced off the pads of McGivern. LeBlanc in front, Jaramillo, shot, kick, save by the keeper and Dylan Rooney. 4:20 to go, and thrown down ice, and this time it will be icing.
Yeah, I mean, that was the call coming from the Chicopee bench, was for an icing. And real quick, I just want to acknowledge, I think it's a really heads-up move by Chicopee head coach Al Stykowitz here in his 36th season. He knows, despite his team being up, only 5 minutes left, he wants to give them as much as a rest as possible. All 5 of the players who were out there all took a seat on the bench, almost like you'd see in a basketball game. And also, goalkeeper Dylan Rooney also took a seat on the bench. And of note is that Rooney who is sitting on the left side of the bench. There's some Chicopee fans on the left side. As
a shot there by LeBlanc that's stopped by Rooney. Go ahead.
There were some Chicopee fans who Rooney was trying to ask for, I believe, was a mozzarella stick. I did not have my binoculars on, but Rooney was looking for a little pick-me-up toward the end of the game here. And I'm sure if he's able to help his team come away with the win, I think I saw his coach signal he'd buy him all the mozzarella sticks he could possibly handle.
The tremendous conversations there. You can see you were hard at work during the timeout there. To give some great information as there's another shot and stretching out with the left toe. The save made by Rooney. 31 saves on the night for the goalkeeper. He's had to put a lot of work into this game. Seidel Poirier blasts it off the boards. Peters gets there first, but now Seidel Poirier picks it up again. And here comes Peters.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, he's earned mozzarella sticks either which way. He's put together an excellent game, as you've said, Daniel. Especially these past few minutes, he's made a lot of really big saves right out in front to preserve this lead.
Bouncer towards goal, stopped by McGivern off the stick of Bartolo. And yeah, it's definitely a well-played game there by Rooney. As here's Gendron up the right side, can't get the shot cleanly away. Neftali Romero got the stick in the way. Jaramillo's seen a lot of ice time in the last couple of minutes. As the Raiders trying to put a lot of the top guys out there trying to find an equalizing goal. They got an equalizer with under 2 minutes to go just 2 nights ago, and they're going to need another one essentially at this point. Down by a goal with 2:20 to go. Thrown towards goal, off the pad, a backhand chance through traffic. May or may not have gotten to Rooney, but a lot that he had to deal with on that. Chicopee settles in their own end, slowly bringing it up. This is Seidel Poirier putting on a little more speed. Seidel Poirier shoved off the puck by 2 Red Raider defensemen and eventually covered by McGivern. There's exactly 2 minutes of hockey to go in regulation.
Well, yeah, it's going to take 2 defenders to be able to stand him up because he was able to juke his way around 2 separate defenders as he made his way through the neutral zone. And boy, just full marks to this Chicopee team and this program, really. Coach Al Stykowitz, you can tell this is a very well-coached team by the way he's able to properly utilize the few pieces he has at his disposal, and a lot of really excellent skaters as well on this Chicopee team. It's honestly, for the interesting brand of style that they've brought here tonight, it's been a lot of fun watching them play.
It's been a very entertaining game just to see a completely different style of hockey. The net is off its moorings in the Chicopee end, and they're going to bring a stoppage to play as they go and correct that.
But again, if you're Fitchburg, there's only 1:38 left. You can imagine they're about to pull McGivern if they want a chance to be able to come back in this game and just try to outwork Chicopee down low. But again, you need to get bodies to the puck. There's no excuse at this point in the game why you shouldn't have a body right on the puck at any point on the ice. Should be tracking down a maroon jersey whenever they're holding on to the vulcanized rubber wherever they go.
Draw from Jaramillo, won by the Red Raiders. Jaramillo taking it in the left wing corner with Bartolo on him, putting him right into the boards. Only one penalty in this contest, and it was against Chicopee. Red Raiders have played it clean, but here's Seidel Poirier, drops it off. Geisler's shot. Offline to the right. Colin Hines to bring it up ice. Finds Leblanc, hops off his stick. Can't settle it as cleanly as he'd like. Jaramillo with a shot that goes wide as McGivern is off. The extra attacker is on. 6 skaters with 1:04 left. Hickey trying to go acute angle shot. Can't find the net, and it's cleared out of the zone. Here's Brogan.
Last
The
minute of
stretch
play
up ice.
period.
Under a minute to go. That's thrown towards goal. Off a stick, no icing. 45 seconds. We've seen Chicopee have some pretty good aim from long distance as well. Red Raiders, 35 to go. Leblanc. Seidel Poirier dispossesses, goes for the empty net, goes off a hand, so it's still going to be icing. I would have thought that would have nullified the icing, but not so.
Yeah, you would think, because that was a pretty blatant tip, but nonetheless, faceoff's going to come back in the Chicopee zone here, and admittedly, that puck shouldn't have even been played by the Red Raider out at center ice, and now we're going to have a faceoff, or pardon me, a timeout it looks here.
The Red Raiders are going to call time, and they want to get their best 6 skaters on. Of course, this also means for the Chicopee side, they're going to have another 60-second rest. As many of them are filtering onto the bench just to give their legs as brief of a rest as they can. But it looks like most of them are still staying upright on the ice. Al Stajkowicz, the 36-year head coach. He's got to be one of the longest tenured coaches in Massachusetts, coaching high school hockey. Telling his side what they're going to do over the last 27.7 of regulation. Steve Lowney in his 16th year, Fitchburg State Hall of Famer. They're talking to his team, trying to figure out how they're going to get this equalizing goal. Shots 32-26 in favor of the Red Raiders in this contest. 7 shots this period for Fitchburg Monty Tech, but 11 for Chicopee, including the go-ahead goal with 9:46 remaining in the frame from Trevor Seidel Poirier, his 27th of the year.
There's something I want to note, and I think it's really come through with the way that Chicopee's played tonight. And it feels like they've really had a feel for where they are on the ice, one another are on the ice at any given point. We've seen a lot of nice passes, and I think it just speaks to, I mentioned how well coached they clearly are with the way they've been able to play here tonight, but just as how tight they are as a group. There's only so many guys on that bench in that locker room, so you get to know everyone pretty well, and it seems like a really fun environment to be able to be a part of a team that has so few guys but put so much fight out there night in and night out.
It's a close-knit atmosphere with that Pacer team, and they're just fighting to keep that puck against the boards essentially, because they know as long as it's against the boards, it's not going towards their keeper. There's less than 10 seconds left. They're happy to try to freeze it against the boards and kill out the rest of this time, and they've just done a tremendous job of doing that. Time will run out. The Pacers are going to steal one in Fitchburg. 2-1. I know I myself as a goalie have told my team in late game situations when time is running out in the period and we know we can't get the puck or the ball, whether it be floor hockey or street hockey, down to the other end of the ice, to try to just jam it up against the boards. Keep it away from the team. Don't try to make a stretch pass that you know you're not going to be able to do anything with. And Chicopee just keeping it up against the boards in the last 30 seconds. 27.7 on the clock. And Neftali Romero is down on the ice too, as he's going to be helped up there.
Yeah, he was right at the center of that big scrum in the corner to try to keep the puck pinned up against the boards, and he's still sitting down on the ice. I mean, originally he was down on his hands and knees. He's now sitting relatively upright, but he hasn't been moving. I'm not sure exactly what the plan is to tend to him, but we're hoping he's all right. But to recap the game quickly as we wait for a development on the situation for Romero. Yeah, no, I mean, you can see it as well in these Chicopee players' faces. I mean, they are just excited about the way they've been able to come away with the win here today. They were able to come into Fitchburg and take care of business.
Indeed, indeed.
Your FATV Wallace Civic Center 3 stars for tonight's game. Number 3 star goes to the Raiders, number 23, Riley LeBlanc. Number 2 star goes to Chicopee, number 16, Trevor Seidel-Poirier. And number 1 star of the game tonight goes to number 24, goalie Dylan Rooney with 31 saves.
So now we see Romero is back up on his skates and able to come off the ice under his own power. We know he got shaken up a little bit in the first period as well. Just hoping, he's all right. But boy, this Chicopee team, I was definitely looking forward to calling this game because I really wanted to see what this Pacer team could bring with such a very small roster. And ultimately, that was just some cheeky strategy there in the last 30 seconds to just keep that puck pinned against the boards. The Raiders never had a chance to put it on goal because Chicopee did such a good job utilizing all their strength to keep it pinned there, to keep the play alive, make sure the officials didn't blow the whistle and run the clock out.
Yeah, I mean, it's at that point in the game where maybe you've been conservative all afternoon, or all evening, I should say, but you're finally able to get down to the final moments of the game with a chance to win. You're going to put it all out there to be able to pin it up and try to pick up the win, and that's exactly what they were able to do. But to talk about the game from a Fitchburg perspective, I mean, this definitely should have been a more physical game if you're the Red Raiders. You outnumber them by the numbers that you did, a 2-to-1 ratio effectively. You need to be throwing bodies at pucks, at the players, and wearing down this Chicopee team much more than you were. You need to be chasing pucks, play in and play out, and we really didn't see a whole lot of that. We talked about it toward the end of the first period. It felt like Chicopee was sort of lulling Fitchburg back into their style of play, and that's effectively what we saw throughout the rest of the game in that third period as well, where Fitchburg wasn't able to get another goal in the net. And so for Chicopee, very well played. Again, very well coached and well conditioned program there. But for Fitchburg, you just got to be scratching your head as to how you did not come away with this one here tonight.
Yeah, they got lulled into playing Chicopee's game, and Chicopee found the advantage by doing that. In the third period, they outshot the Red Raiders by a margin of 11-7, and they got the winning goal there from their game breaker in Trevor Seidel-Poirier, his 27th goal of the season. For comparison's sake, nobody in Central Mass has 27 goals. Marcus Christopidis of Marlborough has the most. He's got 25. And just to recap those 3 stars, fully agree with Jim LaPointe on this one. Riley LeBlanc, the 3rd star with the lone goal for the Red Raiders. Trevor Seidel-Poirier had the winner for the 2nd star, but Dylan Rooney as well had one of the most tremendous performances I feel I've seen out of a goalie calling games this season. 31 saves, a lot of the athletic variety, and for as much as this Chicopee team had played, with the 8 skaters that they had at their disposal, without Dylan Rooney in goal, this would have been a far, far different game.
Yeah, it's not to say that Fitchburg did not have their chances here tonight. There were a couple of times where they did find, an empty net at their disposal, but puck just took a funky bounce or it just slipped off the tape, and it didn't end up finding the back of the net. And so Fitchburg certainly had enough chances to be able to win this game, but you need to have that level of finish in your game to be able to come away with games like this that are going to be a lot closer than you perhaps initially expected. And so I think this was a good kind of wake-up, tune-up, you could call it. Fitchburg already, in the playoffs, they've already won a playoff game. And so this, I think, is a good reminder to them kind of what's important to focus on down the stretch as you await your next opponent coming up later this week.
there can very much be some lessons to take away from this contest. So the Red Raiders' next contest will be later this week. They'll either be playing the Wildcats of Worcester or they will be playing the Knights of St. Paul. A time, place, location, and all those other things still to be determined. Worcester and St. Paul still have to play each other in a quarterfinal game on Wednesday night. For Chicopee, their next game on the 18th, they will be taking on Chicopee Comp, their crosstown rival, a team that they very well could find themselves co-oping with next season. Chick Comp is losing a lot of seniors, and Chicopee losing 5 seniors as well. This could be very much a last hurrah for them as an independent program for the time being, because the numbers, they just aren't there right now, and losing a guy like Seidel Poirier is going to make it, and a goalie like Dylan Rooney will make it all the more challenging to be competitive on your own. But
yeah, it'll be tough to see, but certainly even still focusing on the now in this season. A good game here tonight by the Pacers, and looking forward to seeing what they're able to do down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm rooting for them to get into the playoffs, and that's definitely going to help their seeding and positioning. And they got and they need 3 wins and a tie at the very minimum. They got to win tonight, 2-1. The Pacers take down the Red Raiders of Fitchburg Monty Tech. Chicopee now 7-8-1 on the season. Fitchburg Monty Tech 12-5. And our next broadcast that we can guarantee that we'll be bringing you will be Saturday. It'll be senior day for Fitchburg State Ice Hockey as they'll be taking on the Lancers of Worcester State. It's a 4 o'clock start. It's going to be a pretty good game there to finish out the regular season for the Green and Gold.
Yep, that'll be an exciting one, certainly. Of course, the Battle of I-190, you never know what you're going to get whenever Worcester comes to town, so should be exciting. They're right in the middle of the pack in the MASCAC, looking to pick up a home playoff game to open up the quarterfinals, and Fitchburg still trying to chase down the Panthers. They need some help, but of course you got to take care of business, and that starts, or rather ends, you could say, with taking care of Worcester this weekend.
Indeed, we'll be looking forward to all of that. But for now, we're going to say goodbye here from the Wallace Civic Center. The final score, the Fitchburg Monty Tech Red Raiders 1, the Chicopee Pacers 2. For Tim Foley, Jared Roberts on camera and audio, Travis Falk for helping in the pregame, and everybody else at FATV, I'm Daniel Bolak saying thank you for tuning in. We hope to see you next time. And until then, so long from Fitchburg.